Weird clouds there. Hello YouTubers, subscribers and friends, welcome to my channel. I'm here at the bus stop waiting with my kids and my son. He's shy, he's standing over there. I was gonna ask him, he wanted to walk to the bus stop today because why, son?
Because I'm always ready to go and I just have to wait. Why not? I just go.
He's trying to show more
Independence.
He keeps stressing that too. My wife and I. Look, son, show how much weight you lost. Doing the keto, right? Keto works, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Look at his face, how handsome boy he is. Handsome boy. I got an adventure dog. I got a handsome boy. Where's my daughter? She ran behind the car. Anyways, he's trying to show some independence because he wants a car really bad, right?
Yeah. Driving.
He wanna. I'm not laughing because he wants a car. I'm laughing because he says he's gonna get a job, and he told me that I was too old to get a job, right? And I went out and got a job to show him that I could get a job, right, son?
Yeah, but
And my wife didn't believe I could get a job. My daughter, my daughter was actually mad I got a job because that meant that they would have to walk to the bus stop, and she's like, I'm not walking anywhere. Right? So I didn't take the job, although I did get hired. I didn't take it, but I just wanted to show him that your dad can get a job. Right, son?
yeah.
I'm not too old?
Guess you're not.
Anyways, so you probably wonder, what do you mean you went and got a job? I thought you worked for yourself. We do have a business for ourselves, but my wife and kids are funny because they say that I'm so old, you know, and I hike every day out in the desert or the park or something like that, and especially my son, he's like, hey old man, he doesn't think I can do anything, you know, so I had to prove to them that I could, and it's a funny story. So after talking to my wife and son about me getting a job, because what happened was my son came home from school and said, Dad, how do you make a resume? Can I see your resume? And I said, resume for what? He's like, for getting a job. I'm like, son, I haven't had a job in 14 years. I don't have a resume. He's like, oh, I thought you have a resume. I'm like, no. I've never used a resume in my life. I don't even know how to make a resume. He's like, what are you talking about? Haven't you had jobs before? I was like, oh man, how can I say this? And he's like, say what? I'm like, son, it's not about what you know, it's about who you know. And he's like, what is that supposed to mean? I said, listen, every single job I've ever gotten in my life, it's not because of what I know. It's because I knew somebody that worked somewhere, and I'd ask them, hey man, you think you can give me a job? And they'd talk to somebody and then they'd give me a job. I've never filled out an application ever in my life. It's always just go to the job and ask somebody that I know that works here, say, hey, are they hiring? And they say yes. I say, hey man, you think you can hook me up and get me a job? And he's like, what? That's not what my teacher told us at school. I'm like, well, son, I don't know what your teacher told you, but unless you're going to get some kind of like corporate job or something like that, and you got years of experience, that's how you got to build up a resume, you know. And then he asked my wife, and my wife's like, what are you guys talking about? I'm like, he's asking me how to make a resume. My wife started laughing. She's like, your dad doesn't believe in resumes. And I was like, I started laughing, and I'm like, that's another story, son, but it's not important right now. And my wife's like, well, what do you want to know, son? Because my wife's got a college degree and everything. I dropped out of high school sophomore year, and I've been working ever since I was 16 years old. And I've had every job from A to Z. You know, I've had the corporate jobs, the suit and tie. You know, I've always started at the bottom and worked my way up to the top. And I've never needed a resume or an application. My wife and kids think I'm an old man and I can't do anything, even though I do everything in the house. And I work in everything, I build everything, I repair everything. I told my son, I said, son, listen, you don't think your dad can get a job? Watch me get a job. My wife said, what are you talking about? I said, you just watch what I do. So that was in the evening, right, when we do most of our family talks and stuff like that. Then the next morning, I got up really early and I left. My wife didn't even know what I was doing, right? She texted me a couple hours later. She's like, what are you doing? I said, I'm in a job interview. She's like, what do you mean you're in a job interview? I said, yeah, I'm at a golf course. Because I got 5 years of working on a golf course. And I stopped at this golf course and asked them if they were doing any hiring. They said, yeah, so they started interviewing me. They gave me an interview right there on the spot. They handed me an application. I took a picture of the application and I texted it to my wife and I said, I don't know how to fill this out. All I did was put my name and phone number on it, and I gave it to the guy after they talked to me, and then a couple hours later he called me in and he said he would give me the job just because of what we were talking about, right? So I was like, okay, you know, not thinking anything about it. So I came home and then I told my wife when she got home, I got a job at the golf course. My son was still at school. And she's like, you did what? I'm like, yeah, now, you know, I won't be able to walk the dogs in the morning anymore because I got to go work at this golf course. And, you know, and she's like, are you crazy? We got a business. And I'm like, yeah, well, you're going to have to take care of that, you know, because I got this job. Right? So she still thought I was pulling her leg and everything. And I was like, yeah, I just want to show my son I can get a job, right? But the guy didn't tell me when I was going to start. He just said that they would pay me $11 an hour. It's going to be part-time. And mostly it's going to be Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. It's just going to be 3 days part-time, 4 hours a day, which doesn't really interfere with the business, right? Because usually on Fridays I don't do anything. And Saturday, Sundays is the, you know, family weekend. But I just told my wife, yeah, you guys are gonna have to learn how to do something different without me, because I'm going to work. You know, I was just, you know, giving my wife a hard time. It wasn't until 2 days later that the guy called me and he said that, all right, we're going to need you to come in at 9 o'clock in the morning. I need you to fill out some more paperwork. I need you to bring a drug test result, a driver's license, and a social security card. And I was like, oh, drug test result? We never talked about this. So I'm like, I'm sorry, could you repeat what you just said? He said, yeah, make sure you got a social security card and bring that in. I'm like, no, what'd you say before that? He's like, driver's license? I said, no, before that. He's like, oh, drug test result. Oh, you have a problem taking a drug test result? I said, no, I don't have a problem taking a drug test result, taking a drug test because I don't do drugs, but I haven't taken a drug test yet. He's like, oh, no, I'm going to give you the address and you go down and take this drug test and then bring the results back. It's going to cost you $45. And I was like, wait a minute, what? It's going to cost me $45? Yeah, he goes, we don't pay for the drug test, you do. And I'm like, wait a minute, I have to pay for the drug test and then you guys will give me the job? I'm like, I'm not paying $45 to get a part-time job to take a drug test, which I don't do drugs, right? So I just told the guy, I said, well, you know what? I think I'm going to have to pass because I'm not paying $45 to get a job. And he's like, oh man, I'm sorry to hear that then. So I turned the job down, which when I went, when I told my family, oh my goodness, I never seen my daughter smile so big before, because they were going to have to walk to the bus stop from my house. And she's like, thank God I don't have to walk to the bus stop. She was so happy. My wife was happy too that, you know, I'm not taking this golfing job. But my son was like, what do you mean you got to take a drug test, Dad? I'm like, yeah, that's what they do, son. You want to get a job, you got to got to take a drug test. And I think it was a funny story because I proved to my wife that I'm not too old. I can get a job, and it's very easy to get a job. And I showed my son that, you know, sometimes you don't need to have a resume. You just got to have confidence in yourself. Look at, I haven't been over here in about a week. That's the Holcomb Canyon. Anyways, that's my funny story for the morning. I think it's funny because my family acted so funny when they found out that the old man could get a job real easily. So I'm on my way to go look at some 2 new homes. Well, not new, but they're new to us if we get one. And the video I put up yesterday when I was looking at the properties, one of the reasons why my wife wants to sell the house is because it's been raining a lot, and off and on like every other day, more than we've ever gotten 10 years living out here. And the backyard is just muddy like crazy. The driveway's muddy. And my wife she's like, I am sick and tired of this mud. That's why she wants to get out of the country. She wants to move into town. She's not tired of Arizona or the heat or anything. She's just tired of, you know, being out in the country and, you know, snakes in our yard, and especially all these weeds and grass that have been growing up everywhere in our yard. It's never happened before. And she just says, I'm tired of it. I want to live in the city, and but I want to stay in a kid's school district at the same time. You know, my daughter's going to be turn 18 soon. My son's going to be turning 16, and he has been talking my ear off about he wants a car, Dad. He wants to be more independent. He wants to get a job because some of his friends have got jobs now, right? And some of them's got, one's got a car, one's got a truck, one's got a motorcycle, and he's feeling left out. Like, why can't I have a car? Like, well, first of all, you're too young. You're only 15. You're not 16 yet. And even when you're 16, you gotta have a permit. And I said, son, you still act like, you know, your mom still has to wake you up. You know, you still have to. Your mom lays your clothes out, and you gotta grow up, son. And you know, you're not quite there yet. And he's like, well, I gotta be independent. I can be independent. So he has been waking himself up lately. He's been dressing himself. He's been getting good grades, and he's trying to show me that he can be more independent. He walked to the bus stop this morning by himself. So, and then he's like, Dad, he was telling me this morning, he's like, Dad, I want to get a job. So you know, because I don't have a car, can you take me to places to look for a job? I said, son, I'll take you wherever you want. You know, just let me know. But and that's another reason why my wife wants to move to town, because she babies my kids, especially my son. That's her only son, so he's very spoiled, and she doesn't want him to have a motorcycle, and she really don't want him driving yet. But she figures if we move into town, you know, it'd be easier for him to get around. So I got to go look at these 2 houses. But if you watched yesterday's video, I showed you this property, which I thought was the property, and I was wrong. It's the property right next to it. And so I took my wife yesterday to go look at this property, and we called the owner. It's for sale by owner, and the property is it's full of garbage and trailers and RVs and trash everywhere. And she said her brother was supposed to clean it up, and we went to go look at it. It's not. And at the very back of the property is a huge river, big wash, and it's just like one of the things I don't want on a piece of property. And my wife's like, and there was mud everywhere, because the people who live next door, they've been using the property like a dirt track for their dune buggies that they have. And the owner didn't notice, so I was calling her, because they were like running around in the dune buggies while my wife and I were there. And my wife's like, are you sure this is the property? And I was like, yeah, I'm pretty sure it is now. But so my wife vetoed that property, because the lady said we would have to be responsible to remove the trailer, the RV, you know, otherwise she would have to charge more money for the property. And I told my wife, there ain't no way, there's no way that I'm buying this property and have to remove a trailer, a mobile home, an RV, and all this garbage, oh, and 2 rotten sheds. It's not going to happen. So my wife kind of vetoed that idea, but I got my fingers crossed. I'm still hoping to find that perfect property. I saw these little RVs over here for sale, and I was telling my wife one of the reasons why I want to get the property, because the kids are getting older, they're getting independent, and I want to have a piece of property where I can put an RV. See, there's an RV right there. I can put an RV on the land, and my wife and I can live in it, because we don't need anything big. It's just going to be my wife and I when the kids finally move out. And then I told my wife, if I bought an RV for my son and my daughter, you know, because I'm trying to teach them how to, you know, how they should live, because my son thinks he wants to go get his own place when he gets 18. And I said, son, it's expensive, man. Rent is expensive. So I was trying to teach him, you know, because I took him to go look with some, you know, properties and stuff. I said, buy a piece of land, put an RV on it, and then there, boom, you own the land and you don't have to pay any rent. You save a lot of money, you know. And so he's thinking like that now. And I was telling him, one of the reasons I want to get an RV, just buy one for you and buy one for your sister and one for my wife and I, is when you decide you want to pack up and go, you just get you a piece of property and you already have the RV, because we'll buy the RV for you, you know. I don't have the money to buy a house for them like I did for my oldest daughter in Florida. She has the house in Cocoa Beach, which is a nice house on a piece of property, a half-an-acre property. But anyways, I was driving down this road the other day and I saw one that was for sale, like $3,000. So I want to go look at it really quick before I go look at the homes. So this is going to be, you know, kind of different, but kind of similar to the stuff that I do in my videos. I mean, I get a lot of hate emails and comments and stuff like that from people that are pissed off because I'm showing these homes or talking about Sasquatch and the freaking Hohokam King. And I really don't care, because like I said, you know, that's a really quick way to get blocked, is to bitch to me about what I'm doing on my channel. It's my channel. If you don't like it, just don't watch it, right? If you don't like it, if you hate it that much, unsubscribe. Go away. It's my channel. Anyways, I just want to go see if this thing's still down here for sale. That's not the one I saw, but that looks pretty cool. Little retro one. 3,300 rebate. The one that I saw that was for sale is down here. I want to see if it's still here. No, it was sitting right there. It's gone. It's gone. Gone. I'm gonna go inside because they try to sell you something right on the spot when you get in there. But I was telling my wife, look, all we need is like a fifth wheel, maybe with the slide out or something, with a fire truck, you know, put it on a piece of property, and that's all my wife and I need, right? Because when the kids move out, it's just gonna be me and her and the dogs. And I told her, you know, because I said we could buy that land and I could build another tiny house. That's a little one with the slide out. And she's like, you're getting too old. I don't know, my wife thinks I'm frail or something. Maybe because, you know, I complain about the body aches I have every day from hiking. But I was telling my wife, we can get a small one like this for our kids, and it's like, it's their own bedroom, but it has everything in it. Instead of building a tiny house, you know, they can have their own little RV, which is like buying them a home anyways. And just like I told my son, you just go out and, you know, find you some cheap land, which I've already showed him. There's a ton of cheap land out there, you know. And if he doesn't like the land that I found that's cheap, he can finance land, because I'm also teaching him you gotta have a good, you know, protect your credit. But these things are cool. See that little one right there is a little pop out? That's a perfect size for just my son, right? Or my daughter. Right? I would buy them new. I wouldn't buy used for them. I'd buy them new. You know, that has a slide out. You know, they got their room and they got their own space, and then I would put it on the land and, you know, have a center thing like I showed in the yesterday's video where, you know, you like wagons in a circle, and then in the center area you have like a gazebo where, you know, we sit outside on our gazebo all the time as it is right now. Anyways, that's what I was selling to my wife, and my wife thinks it's a good idea too, but at the same time, she wants something like that or you can drive. And I was like, well, I don't want something like that you could drive, because then if it breaks down, then you're stuck. Your house is broken down. You know, I don't want a big one like that. No way. Because those things are like 100,000 when you start looking at them. Anyways, they sold the one that I really liked here, and it was $3,500 they were asking. Anyways, alright, I'm here. It's probably been about an hour since the last time I turned on the camera. So I'm here at the house that I want to look at, the first one. I don't know, what is that over there? That's a subdivision over there, and this is the one that you would look at if you were in the house looking out into the street here. This is the one that's been newly remodeled, and it's got a nice gate around it. Looks like it's got a fire pit here, or there was a tree here at one time. This one has a garage too. That's the backyard. I'm gonna go inside it. There's no lock on the gate over there. Right off the bat, what I notice is this fence is damaged. It's the weight of this cactus has pulled that fence down. I would definitely get rid of this cactus. There's everywhere over here. He's got some nice cactus. Look at this, is a big yard. I saw what this looked like before they remodeled it. This garage has a room in the back there too. Looks like a container house. Big yards. I don't know why they got these water spigots up so high off the ground. How can you remodel something and then you don't redo the carport? Doesn't make any sense to me. This is what my house used to have, something like this, and the wind just rips these things apart. Okay, this is a small room. This is like a living room or something. Front door. This is another room. That's another room. So that's 3 rooms. The rooms are small. Got a good big backyard for my dogs. I would definitely I would put a fence right here, block this off, keep them from going over there, and I'd probably put a fence up there in the front across there so they could have all this room to run. Oh, it's sinking in the ground here. And then I definitely would put a fence from the end of this all the way to that gate, so they have all this room to run, but they couldn't get in to over here and dig up any of this stuff, because that's the gas lines there. That's the kitchen. Back door. And what is this? This is like a shed. This could be for the dogs. Yeah, the dogs could live in here. Come in out of the rain when it does rain. Look at this cheap paint job they did up here. This garage is a nice garage. Look how long it is. You could fit 2 cars in there. That door is this room here. Inside this garage here, this is the room. Alright, well, they want $165,000 for this pretty good sized property. You got some nice views of Sombrero Peak though. Look at that. Panther Peak over there in the distance. Now, I'm not saying that we're selling our house anytime soon. Who knows? If we were to finance or mortgage something like this, I don't know, we might not even sell our house. But you never know. This is just me. This is what I'm doing today. I had some time today to come look at these. Who knows what we're going to do? My wife hasn't even put the house up for sale yet, but this is what we've been talking about. It's not a bad house, because I know what the inside looks like. I already seen the pictures online. You know, and it's all fenced in already. It's good for my dogs. You know, I just have to fence off, maybe run the fence to here, close that area so they can't get into there, and they can run around up here. Maybe run a fence across here, because I don't want them jumping up on my car if I park my car over here. This is the only thing I don't like so far is this right here. This, you're going to remodel the whole inside of the house, you could at least, it's probably $5,000 to do, put a new one of these in here. Jackhammer, put a new carport thing in here. The person who used to live here before, I think they were a mechanic, because this whole yard, there was like a couple trucks over here, vans and trucks over there. I don't know. Anyways, that's this property. I still did not find a septic, because this is in the city. It's on the outskirts of the city, I should say. Close this gate. America, America. This one has 2 homes on one property. And the reason I wanted to look at it in person is because it's got a bunch of buildings on it when you look at it from Google Earth. But this front house, the front building, is like dated from like mid-80s inside. It just, I would have to gut the whole inside out. See, this is when I'm looking for septic, that right there. But the house in the back is the more dated house. Looks nice inside. But I wanted to come and see what all this other stuff was in the back here. It's a huge freaking AC system. And then they got another one sitting here. It's not hooked to anything. Yeah, this one looks like it hasn't been lived in forever. This is what I want. I want to see what that was, because you couldn't tell from Google Earth. Oh my God, this is a rat's nest. Whew, stinks in there. Yeah, I don't think I'd be interested in this. Whew, that shirt stinks. I told her, you just need to gut this house completely. That's probably why it's been for sale for such a long time. This one is like, looks like a new house on the inside. Where there's 2 homes on one piece of property, and this whole area is for $130,000. Let's go see what's back here. How do you get in here? Let's see. So, I think I'll pass on this house though. A bad neighborhood. I mean, it's quiet over here. Here's a nice piece of property right here. There's no for sale sign on it or anything, but look how flat it is. Look at the views you got of the Santa Catalina Mountains over there. See, I would buy something like this and then just put I don't know if these are, it's all one or if it's separate. And this is one big one. And I would just put, you know, like what this guy did. He's got an RV and he built him a canopy. That's all I need. I don't need anything fancy. I lived in my car for 2 years to save up money to buy my first house. This is a nice flat piece of property right here. And it's in town. This is my video for today. My son wants to be independent. He wants a car. He wants to be able to get a job. These are the homes I looked at today. I'm going to go drive down that road over there and see if there's any homes for sale down there. But who knows what we're going to do. If it was up to me, I'd just stay in my home I'm at now. But my wife, every time when I start to get comfortable in a place where we live, she wants to move. So, here comes the car. Get out of the way. So, if you like these kind of videos, smash that like, hit that subscribe button. It don't cost you anything. It's free. And remember, be kind to people. Treat people the way you want to be treated. You know. And thanks for taking the time to watch my videos. I'm going.